Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim out there doing the work of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in truth, faith, and in sincerity. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. Now, this is the prophecy surrounding the new technologies that are coming about. And that's what this lesson is dedicated to today. All right. The propaganda is already out. I have a clip that I want to show you. It's kind of lengthy. Um, but it's a very important clip, and it explains the process that they're going to implement this particular mark that we read about. All right. And going back to verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that word mark comes from the Greek word charagma. All right. Now, charagma means something inserted. All right, and the video goes into exactly what it is that ultimately their end game is to insert or implant into every man, woman, and child in their right hands or in their foreheads, right? And then verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So without any further ado, we'll get into this video, and what it is positive propaganda promoting this very same mark, or the implementation of the mark, the precursor. All right, the precursor which leads up to the mark. All right, so yeah, in this and it's a rather lengthy commercial, for lack of a better term, but one that very well needs to be paid attention to. All right, so we'll get into this video, then we'll come back and break this all down according to the word of the Lord, or the truth of the word of the Lord. All right. All right, so we'll do that bullshit. All right, so here we go.
According to Article 6 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. However, 1.2 billion people in the world live without documented proof of their existence. That means they're excluded from modern society and the everyday activities that we take for granted. ID 2020 believes that the future can be different. This public-private partnership is dedicated to solving the challenges related to identity in today's world. To do this, we need to understand what truly defines our identity and how we prove it. We need to appreciate the human at the heart of the challenge. Using innovative technology, we can discover how that identity can be established, trusted, and strengthened over time.
I am Sarah. I am a mother.
I am a doctor. I am a soccer fan.
I am Fabiola. I am a student. I am a princess. I am Zhao. I am a scientist.
I am a teacher.
I am.
Can you show me some identification?
No, my house was completely destroyed. I just ran. You will need some ID to cross the border. I've got nothing on me. What can I do? I'm a father. I'm trying to find my family. Please, I'm scared.
Hi, how can I help you?
My child needs to be vaccinated.
Okay, can I get your name
I am Nia.
and your date of birth?
I don't know my date of birth. I don't have a birth certificate.
Don't you have any form of ID? I'm sorry, Nia, we need something that proves who you are and where you were born.
Can you please help me? I'm here on holidays, but I've lost my passport and my flight leaves tomorrow.
That will take some time to process.
But I need to get back. Family emergency. What can I do?
Can I get your name?
Can you show me some identification?
Any form of ID.
What if your identity was always in your hands? An identity you can trust, that others can trust? What if this digital identity was always at your fingertips, and people could verify your identity in a few simple steps? What if you were in control of your data and how it's shared with others? What if this personal, portable identity helped you to learn, work, and live? What if showing who you are was as easy as saying, I am?
I am Joseph.
Across the globe, the pieces are coming together to make this happen. Accenture, Microsoft, and Avanade have teamed up to create the prototype you've seen in action. It's a first step towards a digital identity solution for all. To achieve this, we need motivated, passionate people and organizations to join us. So we invite you to come together, collaborate, and realize the vision of ID 2020. Who are you? This is a question that often comes up in our daily lives. Whether we're boarding a plane, checking our bank balance, or paying a utility bill, we regularly have to prove we are who we say we are. However, more than 1 billion people across the globe cannot prove who they are with any certainty. Many of those have never had a form of verifiable ID to begin with, and more than 15 million were victims of identity theft last year alone. With this in mind, we have developed a unique digital identity prototype to modernize identity management for organizations and individuals. Leveraging the power of blockchain and biometrics, the system makes establishing, tracking, and managing digital identities more efficient, user-friendly, secure, and less open to fraud. Let's follow Joseph as he establishes and builds his identity. At an enrollment station, his biometrics are securely captured through his fingerprints, voice, face, or an iris scan. Then several steps are taken to create a unique identifier using multiple security protocols. This identifier is then recorded on the blockchain, which acts as an index with links to all applicable data. This makes it easy to locate, access, and share information without Josef's personal data being stored on the blockchain. Using an application on his phone, Joseph creates a personal profile that's multi-factored and authentication secured. The app allows Joseph to generate his own set of public and private keys which he can use to sign the data he sends to others. That way third parties can be absolutely certain the information is his. Joseph shares the public key using a QR code. When he scans this QR code at the enrollment station, an official attestation is added to his profile and signed by a private key. This is the beginning of Josef's living identity, an identity that he will build with each stamp he collects from his university, his employer, or from government and non-government agencies. The major benefit of this identity system is that Joseph is always in control of his own personal data. He determines which information is shared, who sees it, and for how long. Instead of multiple paper documents, he can use a single, easy-to-manage app. The system makes life easier for organizations too. It's interoperable with other databases, so existing identity data stays put. Efficiency for background checks is greatly improved as an organization can choose to trust existing attestations instead of repeating the process. For additional security, there's also the option of checking data at source if the user grants permission. The system is also flexible. While this prototype has been created for a mobile device, the technology can work with or without connected devices. This prototype is the basis for our work with ID 2020, a public-private partnership committed to providing a digital identity to the 1.2 billion individuals living without a way to prove their existence. We believe it's the first step towards a digital identity that makes answering the question, "Who are you?" as simple as saying, "I am."
So for those of you that don't really understand, I've covered this in the past, and I've talked about crypto biometrics. And crypto biometrics, some of the things that they talk about, especially with cryptography, is a method of protecting, this is the definition, of protecting information and communications through the use of codes. Okay, so the cryptography mixing with the blockchain, right? The use of codes. You know what they're talking about? You might be thinking they're talking about, hey, there's some code on the back end of a website that I don't know anything about. Are you a coder? No, they're talking about your genetic code. That's what they're talking about. Encrypting this into your genetic code, into your DNA, manipulating your DNA. That's what this is all about. And they want this by 2030. There's companies like Humanoid, whatever they want to call themselves, Understanding Humanoid, well, getting started with blockchain development, where they're talking about biometrics. Biometrics is the implementation of this into your body. Now, people think they're like, well, with biometrics, it means I could just go up to a thing and have my retina scanned, or I could just go up somewhere and have my finger scanned. Well, yeah, that's part of biometrics, but it's going to be more than that, because you're going to be the lab rat, the experiment. You're going to be the one who has their code genetically altered. That's what this is all about. It's about total control. Remember what Klaus Schwab talked about. It's going to change you. He said it's going to change you.
Look at things like artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
And robots. Look at things like gene editing.
Exactly.
Opening a whole new horizon for medical science.
And you see, the difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing,
right.
Just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And also certain kinds of possibilities that you have to be careful about. When you begin to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you are changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. Of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications, and we have to be prepared for it.
This is what they're talking about. They're talking about altering humans' DNA. And there's a lot of things that tie into it with blockchain, with your digital ID, and this is about full control. Them being able to fully monitor.
Hellified article, man. Hellified article, and yeah, I just wanted to let that advertisement run. That advertisement, so you could get the gist of this is them letting you know what they're getting ready to do. And you just heard from Klaus Schwab. You said, yeah, this technology will change you because right, the technology is going to go inside of you. All right, as you heard him mention. Let's see here. So yeah, now you can understand. It makes perfect sense now. And you heard all the links she said. You set up your profile through an app on your phone, your computer, whatever. You set up your profile with your doctor, with your employer, with uh, the airport, whoever you deal with, you know, uh, building a profile on you. You know, this is the future. This is where they want to take humanity. So, hence Revelation again, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causeth all. All right, how does he cause all? Through the implementing of this technological terror, to quote Star Wars, A New Hope. You know, this technological terror that he's constructed in the way of blockchain 5G. Um, what else he got here? All of the surveillance, the cameras everywhere. What else? Oh, and you can't forget. You cannot forget. All right, because they talk about ID 2020, right? That was the name behind it all. ID 2020. All right, what happened in the year 2020? All right, the whole world went into lockdown. Why? Because they wanted to implement something. All right, and what they want to implement is a part of all of this. Okay, so basically, for that, where they're taking this, which is for them to implement micro CHIPs and all of this, they had to prepare the body for it. Okay, or else your body would reject being, for a foreign object being placed in you. Your body would reject it. So they had to get you prepared, and that solution to the he calls it all because he's implementing an entire system in which society will be ran strictly by that is dependent on if you're wanting to participate, that's depending on you taking this technology, this technological solution, all right? Because there's ID theft, as according to the advertisement, right? There's ID theft, people who they just forget who they are. Sometimes people just forget who they are and don't know who the hell that they are. So this fits the bill, all right? And listening to this commercial, if you will, things start to come into picture, all right? Things start to really come into play. Now you understand the border crisis, okay? Because what do we have? We have all of these, what are they termed? Undocumented. Some people will call them illegals, but some people call them refugees. Um, it's another term also that I'm missing. But all of these un, undocumented migrants coming from South and Central America, and Mexico, of course, Mexico as well, but coming from South and Central America into the U.S. through the southern border. So this fits the bill perfectly, all right? Because they could just say, well, so we can know who's who, we can get everybody C-hipped, all right? And then that solves that crisis. Because what you have to understand too is with them coming over, they're they're just about willing, and these are a lot of the northern kingdom tribes, all right, tribes of Israel, which they come over, they're willing to do anything to stay in the states. So it ain't gonna be nothing for them to take that, take whatever this man is offering, you know, and then that way they can become quote unquote productive members of society, and they will have. But this is one thing that the elites know and understand is that they will have a, a workforce, a subordinate workforce. When all of these patriots and those who know what time it is out of the system, or when some of these crackers, it we very well may see a civil war here in America, you know. But a lot of people know what time it is here in America, and people gonna be quitting jobs due to this, shutting down businesses. So then they'll have these documented migrants coming from South and wherever else they coming, because it ain't just South and Central America, you know. Uh, This is how they bring these criminals in from China, from the Middle East. They come through the southern border as well. But yeah, again, these elites will have a compliant workforce for the America that they're trying to forge. All right, which is basically no more human rights, in which you heard them build that up. Uh, it's your right as a human to be ID'd or to have ID. That's your right. See, they keep talking about rights when it's something that they want you to have. But just a week ago, I did a whole lesson about how they're looking to strip human dignity from all mankind throughout the world. They want to dehumanize you. But when they want to dress something up and have you to go along with the scheme of their madness, oh, it's your right to be ID. You know, the old system was working fine. And all this identity theft, that's all orchestrated by the elite. All right. But this is how he calls it all. He's putting a system in place, building this technocratic prison around us, real time, right before our eyes, with all these cell phone towers, cameras every goddamn where. If people even see people so slow, they put these cameras in their houses, on that front porch. Oh, I can see who's knocking at my door. Yeah, whoop de goddamn do. You can see who's at your door. It's called the goddamn window. They work fine for hundreds of years. Well, at least you could say hundreds, but in recent society, the window's been working just fine. But now all of a sudden you need all of this technology. This technology is there to lock you down. And this is how or why the scripture says, Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All of you rebellious niggas, spicks, Uncle Tomahawks, all you lost ass heathens out there, you're gonna play your part in this system. And again, we know that there's a lot of patriotic, gun ho Edomites here. They're irate, and they just waiting for they're waiting for the shoe to drop. Because they got weapons out the ass and stockpiles of ammo, and they're itching to shoot motherfuckers, people. Pardon. All right. So yeah, hey, they know what time it is, and that's why they've been hoarding and prepping. That if they haven't already, they're gonna opt out when all this is implemented. All right, and you heard them how they gonna do it. Blockchain. That's the key. That's the essential key to this whole thing is the blockchain. That's the communication system that's going to move or be moving this info worldwide. This is why they had to roll out the crypto first. And there's a lot of good other points in that video. If I can, I'm gonna post the link. I can't always post the link, but I'm gonna see if I can post the link to that video. You can go, cause this is one you got to kind of study, all right, and just have it on deck for reference. But yeah, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. All right, receive a charagma, something inserted in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this is what distinguishes that C-hip from the solution, which is what I call the juice, or the jab. All right, so you hear me say the solution, I'm referring to the jab, that juice that they basically coerced everyone under duress to getting. Okay, this is what distinguishes the C hip from that juice, because they're both inserted, right? They had the, which this C hip will be injected by use of a, or by way of a syringe, the same as was the solution was administered by way of a syringe. But this is the difference, which I've tried to explain this to some people who hell bent on saying that the juice is the mark. Oh, the juice is, that's the mark. The jab is the mark. The jab. What it says here, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save, meaning except, he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? So I ain't get that jab, and I'm buying and selling every day. Okay, so that's what separates how you know that it's not the jab, but it is something else to come, and that's what is to come is the mark. Well, of course the mark, but the micro C hip. All right. Um, yeah, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 threescore and six. So Salakia. And yeah, that's all this technology. This is what they've been gearing up for. That's what the 5G is for. That's what the blockchain is for. You know, and the cryptocurrency, all of that is to lead up to all of this about going digital. Okay, it's all about going digital where they can have a more efficient and effective means of tracing and tracking everyone on the earth that they don't kill. Okay, it's in essence a worldwide census. And we know how well that went for King David. For those of you who know the scriptures, the Most High does not take kindly to the numbering of the children of Israel. So this devil is grossly overstepping his bounds, which is nothing to him because this is what he's been doing, and now he's bold in doing it, pursuing to Amos 8 and 11. He's emboldening in his demonic enterprise, and so he feels like shit. Who's going to stop him? So we can look here real quick at I said Amos 8 and 11. Salaki, I meant the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. All right, so Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. All right. Now the sons of men is in reference to the heathen nations, with the exception of Esau, Edom. Now Esau, Edom is the nation of people who are currently running the world. They are known as the sons of the wicked. Nonetheless, the wisdom here still applies because he's been allowed to do such wickedness in the earth that now he's secure in just being wicked and evil. He has no repercussions, no sorrowful thoughts. Matter of fact, the scripture says, unless he does evil, he cannot sleep. Most people, they do something evil and wicked, it, their conscience bothers them. They may not be able to eat, they may not be able to sleep, but this devil, this is a man who sleeps not until he does evil. All right, which was shit, which was witnessed or recorded by Micah. We'll start at the top. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And this is a scripture we constantly talk about is Job 9:24, which says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. So this is who it's talking about. And it's starting off saying, woe to them. Woe meaning death and destruction. Their judgment is right around the corner. All right. And they've been working feverishly trying to circumvent that judgment. But in the meanwhile, it doesn't stop them for one moment in implementing wickedness, as we're reading about. So woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, right? Because they got the power. They're the ones in power. So anything that they can conceive, yeah, as soon as day breaks, they can put that thing in motion. They themselves don't have to do it. They got all the they got the doctors, the scientists, uh, all of the big businessmen, the industry men in their pockets. So all they got to do is make a few calls and shit. Sun come up, well they're having their what them devils be eating poached eggs and their mutton, whatever they may be eating. They might be making phone calls or talking to their personal servant. I need you to handle so and so, such and such. All right. So when the morning is like, they practice it, they put it into work because it is in the power of their hands. And that, hey, I'm thinking about uh, Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Well, this is who we're talking about. You know, they're they're working. All right. Matter of fact, the Masons have a term called the great working and the building up. That great work is the building up of a demonic, satanic society. This is where this is all going. That's their great, they dubbed it the great work. All right. Well, let me tell you this before we read on. Most High is also working the work, which he said he would work a work in our time, which we would not believe. And that's the ones he's working the work on, that we wouldn't even believe it. I think it said, though it was told to us. But, right, that work is the elect being raised up in truth, all right, by the power of the word of the Most High. So, while they're trying to crown their enterprise with success, the Lord is working his work and won't no one stop it. All right? It's the reason why he's called the Most High. No one or nothing trumps the Most High. So, uh, yeah, that was the point. I don't have to read the rest of that. So another one said that their sleep is taken away. I may not be wording this right. That's it. So we got to go here also to the book of Proverbs. And it says, got to start up, all right, so that you can know who the subject matter is. And we're talking about again the wicked. All right, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked. All right, so what would you be doing in essence in getting involved with these CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies, and then when you ultimately take that mark, that mark, you're doomed. Because what you're doing is entering into the path of the wicked. This is a path that they've carved out for you to go, which is going to lead you to your doom, your destruction. All right. And this is why they've carved that path. These people despise us as the children of Israel, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And so here King Solomon is warning, enter not into the path of the wicked and go not in the way of evil men. Do not follow evil men. And the problem with our people is they cannot discern wickedness no more. They've been demoralized and so brainwashed to the point to where they don't know right from wrong anymore. They just simply can't make logical judgments or have a scriptural discernment on good and evil. So they're going to go. And especially these Christians are going to go and take this beast's mark. All right? Enter not into the path of the wicked and go not in the way of evil men. Taking that C hip is going in the way of evil men. The Lord has sent his servants, the prophets, out. And if you follow those men, or you follow destruction. No, that's your choices. Life or death. Anything outside of following the prophets that follow Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, anything outside of that is death. So he's saying avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. It says, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, right? Because we read in Micah how he devised iniquity while he's on his bed. So, right, he's tossing and turning, thinking about this, thinking about that, until he comes up with a wicked solution, and then he can rest comfortably. This is what the scripture is letting you know. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and in their sleep, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. All right, so yeah, and through that Charagma, many are going to fall, and there's no recovering from that fall. 7 times, but he gets back up. Well, a wise man knows not to take this Charagma that they're offering, because a wise man will be studying the scriptures in these days. You even got Edomites, you know, straight up hardcore Edomites. They're getting into these scriptures, trying to find out what's going on. At least they a lot of them know about not to take this RFID microchip, you know. And I mentioned about 2020 and that solution that they offered. Well, the solution was called, and just take the initials and put it together, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But that solution came out as well, not the solution, Salakia, the problem that they created. They termed it the how's it worded? Oh, certificate of vaccination identification. So just put those initials together, you know what I'm talking about. That certificate of vaccination ID, identification. You understand? So they want to keep track of everybody. Who's been shot, who hasn't, where you been, where you coming from, or where you going, on all of that. Okay? So going back, and we're going to go here to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right. So yeah, that's how serious this is, and that you must be fully persuaded in your mind, you know, um, as to what this mark is, because it is a matter of life and death. Make no mistakes about that. All right. And yeah, I believe. Let's see here. Going back. Yeah, I just wanted to speak real quick. Going back to Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. All right. And we went into that, how he has power, that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, Job 9 and 24. But this devil has power to whatever evil and wicked schemes that he can think up on his bed. He has the power to bring that to light, to see the light of day. Okay. And so his ultimate scheme is to basically play God on the earth and have complete control over every man, woman, and I do mean complete control over every man, woman, and child. And you heard the guy mention, he said, total control. He said it twice. This is total control. Yes, because these people have a most high complex, you know, and it shows you to the extent that ego can go. You know, these are the lofty, the proud, the egotistical. They're sociopaths and they're psychopaths. They're narcissists. They're anything you can think of negative. They fit the bill. All right. But it said he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Now, that image is talking about the image of ancient Rome. This is the beast. Now, we are in the revised Roman Empire. So he's done that. He's given life unto the image of the beast, because that beast was the ancient Roman Empire. And now here we are today sitting in the modern Roman Empire. And it says that the image of the beast should both speak, meaning legislate. And now you see they're coming out with, well, you watch the entire video, they're talking about the treaty that been set in place by, which the U.S. is in, but set in place by these countries like China, um, Israel, and certain countries in the middle. India, of course, is one of them countries. But they've all signed this international treaty to give power over to the WHO, or to give WHO unspecified powers in the case of a medical emergency. All right, and so don't think you're not going to see another pandemic, because that's the next move. You know, but they mentioned about in the video how these countries came together and signed treaties. Well, it ain't just one. Well, it's treaties, right? They've been behind closed doors signing these treaties. All right. Now I'm speaking to that because that's the way that this beast speaks. It talks to you and uh, directs you in the way that they want you to go by way of speaking through legislation. You know, dictates. You know, you got directives, dictates, papal bulls, you know, all of these things is the way that a society or a kingdom or empire would speak, as well as treaties. So this is what it's saying, to give image. I'm sorry, to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. How? They're going to legislate it. They're going to propagandize the people to where the people calling for the heads are the ones that's just like they're doing now, all in the uproar about those who don't want to get maxed out, maxinated. So yeah, all they have to do is put the idea out there, which we should just round up everybody who don't want to get it, and just bump them off. Let's just bump everybody off who don't want to get it, and then people will go along with it. People will go along with it. Because again, logic and reason have been stripped from this people here in America. But right, he's going to cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. So you're going to see the Noahide laws enacted here in America, and whatever other legislation they have on the books that's calling for capital punishment. Right. This is what you're going to see. This is how this beast speaks, and it's coming down the pike. All right. And he's really giving life into this new technocratic version, this technological version of Rome that we're entering into with the CRISPR, which is a gene editing technology, the mRNA. Did I say that right? Yeah, mRNA platform that they're talking about using in various applications other than vaccines. Shit, just nanotech in itself. Nanotech. What am I missing? The whole 5G and all of this, you know, is breathing a new life into this image, because again, now Rome is going fully technological. All right. So when it says he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that power was given him by the Most High, so that they could fulfill the prophecies concerning them. Was like Revelation 13. So the Most High sent them demons to get them up to speed on, on this technology, so that they could bring forth this technology to bring these prophecies to pass. And this is why he's working tirelessly, because he knoweth that he had but a short time, and this devil has to get cracking. The Most High is on his ass. Most High telling them demons, hey, tell them to get this going, get this in gear. You know, show them how digital works. Okay, now show them how the nano. It's another term that they call, but you get the idea. The cyber world, all of that. It's another term, but yeah, what is that term? It's gonna bother me anyway. That's the that's the gist of the lesson, man. They getting ready to run this. You're gonna see it in the form right now, the CBDC, and then they're gonna go from there to the with the QR codes and all of that, until they switch over and say, well, now we need everybody to just get C-hipped. You know, so hey, they're doing it by increments. but they're moving fast because, yeah, the Lord is hastening the day. Well, the Most High is hastening the day. You know, so I pray that you brothers are edified, man. To the next one, you brothers stay up, man. Much love. Shalom.